Today we will talk on glass and its applications. In fact, there are engineers and architects who are fascinated to use the glass. And let me confess that there is no substitute of glass for some of the properties like transparency. We cannot imagine buildings without glass because they look dull and blind. Still, transparency is basic requirement for a habitat and hence the use of glass is unavoidable. Glass also allows natural light to enter the house and thus saves energy and becomes energy efficient. Glass is ideal way to showcase a product, so this enhances the aesthetics also. Glass is now 100% recyclable and does not degrade during recycling process. When used in interiors, it enhances aesthetics. Glass is nowadays tailor-made product and can be used for different applications. According to NBC 2016, the soda lime silicate glass is classified based on type of internal stress, which determines the strength of glazing towards breakage, design and insulation procedure and based on application. A new chapter has been added in NBC 2016 Volume 1 Section 8, which provides design specifications and testing methods of glass and glazing. We can talk about different type of glasses. Annealed glass is the basic flat glass of the float process. This glass made in large sheet directly from furnace or by making cylinder and then flattening it is known as sheet glass. This glass is glossy, pre-finished, apparently plain and smooth surfaces. Flat transparent sheet glass is to confirm A quality or B quality or C quality. Then there is a wired glass in which wire mesh is embedded during production. This has impact resistance similar to a normal glass or float glass. But in case of breakage, mesh retains the glass species, that is the advantage. If we talk about heat strengthened glass, then this glass is similar to tempered glass or toughened glass, except that surface compression is of different values. Heat strengthened glass basically in this one, a permanent surface compressive stress is induced by controlled heating and cooling process in order to increase resistance to mechanical and thermal stresses. In toughened glass, this compression is of higher range, varying from 75.5 MPa to 143.4 MPa, while in heat strengthened it is about 44.3 to 64.5 MPa. If we talk about the toughened or tempered glass, then as we have discussed that this has a compressive stress of higher value. And it is in fact tempered fire resistant glass is also available, and toughened safety glass is also available. And you cannot break toughened glass easily. That is the added advantage. And there is a different breaking pattern of float glass or annealed glass than heat strengthened glass and toughened glass. Laminated glass is made from two or more pieces which are held together, and then there is an interlayer of plastic materials. This interlayer layers which differ based on material type and composition, mechanical and optical characteristics. And this may have different type of glasses than layers. It may be transparent, translucent or opaque. and coated. So this plastic glazing sheet material, which can be polycarbonate or acrylic, and may be having the properties of clear, tinted or coated and transparent, as I have told. Laminated glass has added advantage that this has basically acoustic properties also, and then sound resistance property also. If we see the breaking pattern, then annealed glass can break in any shape, anywhere. Tempered glass, you can see that this is in small pieces and within the frame. And laminated glass has added advantage that this does not fall so easily. On breaking pattern, if we compare this heat strengthened and laminated with flowed glass, then flowed glass we have told that it can break anywhere. And heat strengthened, which is given in the last, that breaks like that, and small pieces where there's laminated glass or laminated glass is breaking. IGU or insulated glass or glazing unit or glaze unit. This is a single sheet of flat glass, which could be either annealed, toughened or heat strengthened. And assembly is very important. And this assembly consisting of at least 2 panes separated by one or more spaces, hermetically sealed along with periphery, mechanically stable and durable. And then assembly material is also very important for fire resistance. Moisture in the cavity between two glasses controlled by desiccants filled in the perforated spacer. The spacer ensures the precise distance between the glass panes. The low heat conductivity of enclosed dry gas between the glass panes, which reduces the thermal heat transmission through the glass. It also helps in reducing the direct solar energy, specifically when the outer pane is a solar controlled glass. And normally the gas which is filled up between in the cavity between the pieces, this is with air, argon or krypton, basically inert gases. Coated glass is a sheet of glass coated on one or both sides with an applied organic coating or sheeting. You might have heard about reflective glass, solar reflective glass, where coating is done so that this has reflective properties and solar rays are reflected. And the low E glass is also a coated glass. Then there may be pattern glass, tinted glass. Pattern glass means rolled glass having a distinct pattern on one or both surfaces. And tinted glass, basically normal flat glass to which colorants are added in that one. Then there are photochromic glasses which incorporate organic photochromic dyes to produce self-shading glass. Then there is electrochromic glasses, which is produced with multi-development of electronics and glass techniques for energy-saving component for buildings. And they change color on demand. Frosted glass we have been using traditionally, and this is produced by sandblasting or acid etching of clear sheet glass to have basically translucent effect, so that visibility is reduced or almost stopped. Nowadays the term smart glass is used, and smart glass is the glass whose light transmission properties can be altered as per the requirement by the user. So that is called a smart glass. Then one self-cleaning glass is available. Basically it is used for multi-storied or buildings or skyscrapers where maintenance becomes difficult. So this basically cleans the dirt and the glass, washes the glass automatically. So that is self-cleaning glass. Then there are ceramic printed glasses which are used by architects for different architectural purposes. Then acid glasses. This is technique of creating art on the surface of glass by applying acidic, caustic or abrasive substances. And then they are used for different decorative purposes also. Then there is a bulletproof glass which is used not to allow to have the bullet resistance basically. Then let us talk the purposes of glass in a building. And in a building, glass may be used for aesthetic purpose, only for aesthetic and little bit say functionality. Then glass may be used only for functionality purpose, and there may be chances where aesthetics and functionality both are taken care. Then how to select a glass, that is important. One is safety against breakage. So you are to see that it is safe. So when safe means against accidental breakage, strength requirement, toughened glass or laminated glass are considered safer than annealed glasses. And for increased high security requirement, we have laminated glass. Then safety against fire, wind, seismicity and human impact. In fact, for human impact, all type of glasses are important. And then for fire, wind and seismicity different, it depends on the different types of glasses. But for multi-storied buildings, we are to see that glass is safe from the fire characteristics, fire angle, wind and seismicity. Though human impact is to be seen in all type of glasses. Then there may be special requirement like optical, solar and thermal performance. And then energy efficiency. Nowadays it is important. Then glass, as we have told, that glass has unique and amazing properties, transparency. See some of the examples. In fact, glass connects spaces from inside and outside and livelihood in that interiors. In confined spaces, glass can be used for giving the effect of higher space, more space, and that is the preferred solution. See, looking the street from a small office space or house, you can see all outside. Even inside it may not be green, but by use of glass, you can visualize the green outside and that you can enjoy. And see-through view is there in glass and therefore it is enjoyable. And even natural light can be taken inside of the buildings, and that is the added advantage. And even cloudy day becomes livelier in case of use of glass. Then it has a stunning effect due to in the night, even in lighting. Glass provides a stunning effect on lighting. And this property forces architects to adopt glass ever and ever. You see this building? Because of glass, this is shining like anything. And then this also building you can see during night. And another building. And glass is compatible to other materials for enhancing beauty, that is added advantage. You can use glass with timber, stone, bricks, RCC, steel, aluminium, plastic and many more materials. And glass in itself can be used with very small fixtures. You see this staircase, this was a steel staircase which has been provided with some sort of glass, a small amount in balustrade, and then this has enhanced the beauty. And you see in RCC facade, even glass has been provided, which is comfortable. And this way ACP seats, aluminum seats, composite profiles have been provided. So this and this again compatible with aluminum or stone like granite. And then as we have told that transparency is one of the property, and then compatibility is another property as we have discussed. And third is transmission of light in glass will make it favorable material for the architects and energy efficient buildings. If we talk about applications of glass in external use, then it may be structural glazing, cladding, facade, solar system, doors, windows, and in interior it may be doors, staircases, railings, floorings, murals, partitions, furniture, etc. In almost every place we can use glass now. If we talk about the functional requirement, one is structural glazing, the second is fenestration or windows, doors, partitions, solar systems, security barriers, etc. Structural glazing, few may agree for the functional requirement and few may not like to have glass all over the building. Aesthetically, most of the people may agree that it looks beautiful, though may have little varied thoughts in making total or partial use of structural glazing. You see this building, this is partial use has been made in structural glazing with sandstone. Here again structural glazing has been used with partially with stone, Dolpur stone or sandstone. Here this in this building structural glazing has been used along with GFRC panels. Here this is again in RCC print buildings. Here substantial use of structural glazing is there, you can see a combination. Extensive use of glazing has been done in this building, and here extensive use of glazing, structural glazing has been done. And then almost complete use of glazing in this building, and here with again, and this extensive use of glazing has been done in this building. Here also with ACP. Here also extensive use, you can say, though in some part ACP has been used. Here also in back portion, rear portion, extensive use had been done, but in front portion partial use has been done and it looks beautiful. Here partial use of glazing has been done. Here also. Now, therefore, if we talk about the functions, then structural members, very little, almost negligible use is there of in columns, beams, etc. Though in some cases it is used, say glass staircase is there, maybe glass beams are there, and somewhere these glass columns are also used in small buildings. But in general, it very little use is there in structural members. Non-structural members, yes, this is used. This is replacing brickwork or block work and making structure lightweight because the thickness of the glass is too less compared to brickwork or block work. Fenestration, it is used. Fire resistance is there, but you have to use suitable type of glass. But extra care is to be taken when we use glass for the fire resistance. Aesthetics, yes, few people agree that it enhances the aesthetic, and few may say no to some extent. Then fresh air in conditions like India, people want to open the windows, then because in most of the buildings where this is used in facade or structural glazing used, then they are air conditioned building, but still they want to open it, then there is a problem. And then they want to open because they don't feel good, and feel good factor is not there for many people, and thus they would like to open the windows, and then this does not serve the purpose. Some serious concern on use of structural glazing, they have shown that particularly during fire, that there are some serious concern due to many casualties. Inadequate or no openings are provided in structural glazing, and then for firemen it becomes difficult to take out the people from the openings. Fire evacuation becomes difficult if openings are not proper, and it becomes very difficult. Smoke exhaust become difficult, and there is a large damage of property due to structural glazing. And then probably functions would have preference over everything else, so that is important. Though glass is available, and it is said that fire protected rated glass is available and fire resistance rated glass is available, in which glass blocks smoke, fire and radiant heat, but this is costly, so it is to be but if it is required, then this should be provided. What is required is in structural glazing that we should provide adequate and of required size openings. That is important. Glass experts should come forward and suggest the requirement of safe glass opening sizes and their fixing arrangement, because it is not the glass alone, it's the assembly which is important from the angle of fire. So total assembly should be fire proof or fire resistance. Specifications of safe glass should be framed and sent to local bodies, engineering organization and academicians, and even to the students, so that they are aware how it should be provided and what should be the specifications. Efforts should be made to include structural glazing in curriculum of architects and engineers, because it is being used more and more. Fenestration affects heat and sunlight that enters into the building, contributing to energy efficiency, and then this can be set as functional requirement. This has to be designed as per requirement of sunlight inside the building, and also we should see that particularly in seismic area that it is provided in a balanced manner. If there is wind or cyclone regions are there, then still this fenestration area and anchoring should be given due importance. Hence fenestration needs to be designed according to aesthetics, functional requirement, energy efficiency and disaster resistance requirement. Particularly in cyclone prone areas, glass may be avoided in structural glazing, as proper type of glass should be used and connections should be provided for adequate fixing. That is important, otherwise the whole roof or assembly can be disastrous. And the use of glass in external door and internal door is common. In addition to aesthetics, safety, what is to be seen in doors cases is human safety, human impact. So that is important, whatever required as per safety requirement from human impact, that must be seen. And then another thing is maintenance issues, which should be examined for functional requirement whenever we provide automatic glass or glass doors at the entrance, and if dust is coming in non-AC areas or in public areas or dusty areas, the maintenance becomes difficult. In India, combination of conventional doors and glass doors will continue. External automatic glass doors may be provided at AC hotels, restaurants, and then that can be maintained. And internal doors can be done in fully AC areas, but in dusty areas and large congested public areas, they may be avoided. Doors, windows need to be incorporate safety features for human safety impact, due to impact, as I have told. These are the doors which can be decorative, provided easily with some decorations. Other uses of glass may be staircases, railings, floorings, partitions, murals, furniture. These uses are site specific and decided by the architect. Here also aesthetic, functional and disaster resistance properties should be considered. This is glass provided in partition and paneling, which is quite pleasing and inviting. Here you can see in partitions it has been provided. Here also you can see in partitions it has been provided of the offices. Yeah, glass can be provided even curved areas nowadays, not only flat, but in curve also it can be provided. And you see it has been provided in the shape of dome, which is almost 4-storied height, and it can be done in different shapes. Aesthetic requirement maybe in railings, lift interiors, murals, furniture. This enhances, in fact, aesthetics if you provide interiors. Solar PV panels will remain with glass, and fiberglass products are now available even in geogrids, geotextiles also. And there are large number of fiberglass products which are available, and they will find place forever. So every material has a specific property, but some materials have wide applications, so also the glass. Appropriate type of glass needs to be used and tested before its use. That is very important, so that it does not lead to accidents. During planning, we should be careful for its suitability for aesthetics and functionality. That is important. Selection of glass should be based on location, size, breakage characteristics, type of building and its use. In particular, the number of people expected to be in close proximity of the glass at critical locations. That is important. From fire safety and security, wind loading, thermal breakage, energy efficiency, etc. requirement. Then, so what is required is to select and design and test and use appropriate glass at appropriate location and enjoy its beauty and functions. Remember, glass is vulnerable material and most vulnerable for the accidents, not only in use but due to transportation, storage, handling, cutting, installation, fall, impact, fire, and even during occupancy due to human impact, breakage, and disasters. So safety is to be given prime importance, and including human safety. Although glass is brittle, but it is safe from fire, earthquake, and even blast if we choose right type of glass and use it appropriately. Critical locations are there from human safety requirement that is given in NBC 2016, so that can be followed. And these are given in NBC 16 now, as I have told earlier. Remember, safety demands that presence of glass is made visible in places where human impact is possible by provided say bands or different arrangements can be provided which are given in the code. And if we talk about the safety glasses, then toughened safety glass is available, laminated safety glasses are available, and safety glasses are required to satisfy the relevant tests as given in the code. Remember, all heat treated glasses are not safety glasses, and even all laminated, toughened and safety organic coated glasses are not safety glasses. So safety glasses have different meaning, and that we should follow wherever it is required. And we should procure the safety glasses from certified manufacturer, and it should be labeled properly, which cannot be removed. And each label must contain ISI mark as per BIS requirement. And we should take precautions against glass falling on people. Annealed glass, if it falls, then it can cause a lot of accidents. Fatal injuries. Toughened glass due to safe breakage pattern breaks and disintegrates into small and relatively harmless particles. Laminated safety glass will generally not fall out of fixing. And if IGU is used, then criteria is to be followed for installation subjected to human impact on either side, on both the sides of panes of units. And also we should provide, from fire angle, we should provide the assembly as fire resistant. Looking at the increase in use of glass in building industry, human safety has to be ensured. And as multi-storied buildings are coming, and we are providing a lot of glass as structural glazing in the assembly, so that should be safe. In fact, glass no longer remains a general product, but it is a tailor-made product, and it has to be designed and selected and tested properly as per site requirement, functional requirement, fire safety requirement, and overall human safety requirement. So it should be selected properly. To minimize accidents, it is on us, on architects and designers, to appropriately use the transparency so that presence of glass is made visible from human impact safety requirement. And all the provisions for fire safety must be mandated and strictly followed in multi-story buildings. Thanks for attending. I am Soni, ADG retired from CPWD. Thanks a lot.